As we move into storm season, here's something most homeowners don't realize after a storm. Roof damage isn't always obvious. Wind can lift shingles, breaking the seal. Hail can bruise them below, and flashing around chimneys and pipes can loosen without you ever knowing. That damage may not show up for months. If your area has strong wind or hail, a professional inspection will help bring you clarity before small damage turns into bigger problems.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon. On this Monday evening, it is a pretty warm day, and we have a fairly warm week ahead looking forward over the course of the next couple of days. One of the big headlines I think a lot of folks are looking forward to is just how long we can really kind of keep that sort of weather around. And I do think we have more than a couple of days of that still ahead. So again, kind of main headline this evening, warm weather is ahead, but I think some cloud cover really just keeps us a little bit below what we're capable of. I think we'll be near 80 later this week. We'll time out when that's going to arrive. But I think some cloud cover probably keeps us only probably lower 70s next couple of days, maybe even some drizzle, some fog to go along with that. We'll look more detailed at that here in just a couple of minutes. And some of that rainfall later this week, again, really concentrated Golden Triangle area. There is a severe weather risk already in place looking toward Thursday, but I think that's to the north of us. Well, I know that's to the north of us, and I think that probably will exclude us. We'll look at some of the components related to that using our storm finder as well, coming up here in a couple minutes. And a live look in Amory this evening. In fact, I think we'll talk about that here briefly. Our Ethan Foster down there in the Amory area. Hey, Ethan, how's things going this evening down there? And why are you down there this evening?
Well, Matt, you said it was a warm day today, but to be fairly honest, it actually feels nice out here tonight. And the reason we're out here is because, well, a lot of people know college baseball has started up in full swing, if you will. Gabe would appreciate that pun. But also starting is some high school baseball as well. So if you watched recently, you saw Matt got to give a little preview out here at Amory High School. And we're actually out here for the first full swing of high school baseball out at Amory's brand new ballpark. So got a school that's very special to my heart competing here tonight. You'll have to stay tuned to find out who that is. But yeah, it looks like to be a good night out here for Amory's first official game on the brand new field. It's very nice. I don't know how much you can tell here, but all that green you see, it's very clean. It looks like, they just laser graded it. I know these high school students are just blessed to be able to have this out here.
Absolutely. It's a great shot there. I want to hear a little more about that coming up here in a couple minutes. That's our Ethan Foster there in the Amory area. Just a beautiful evening for a ball game. Great week for any ball games, really, as well. And our Mississippi Live game of the week, still in basketball mode later this week. Of course, we're waiting for your suggestions. Hopefully, we'll narrow that down to where we're going to be heading tomorrow. You'll help us to do that. Amory right now, that camera, though, showing up with that beautiful kind of post-sunset glow. 59 degrees current temperature there in Monroe County at this point in time. Also, again, a pretty nice shot there in Ackerman of that glow toward the horizon. Again, just a few thin clouds there. 61 degrees in Ackerman, the temperature at this point and time. So looking at that forecast hour by hour through the first 12 hours, 56 again, 7 p.m. We're 50 degrees by 10 p.m. down to 48 by 1 o'clock in the morning. And again, somewhere probably middle to upper 40s to begin early morning on your Tuesday. I think we'll probably have some low cloud cover, some fog out there. It didn't even fully break up to the south of us today. And so I think we get a kind of a second round of that again as we look toward tomorrow because of that. Mississippi Live weather radar. We were looking at 5 o'clock. Again, a little smoke plume down there near the wildlife refuge there in Oktibbeha County. Only thing really was showing up other than some clear air returns across North Mississippi and western Alabama. One little spot there also, it looks like kind of between Columbus and Millport, where we have a little smoke, and probably down there south of Reform, another one of those areas as well. But outside of smoke, there's no precipitation out there on Mississippi Live Mama Justice Doppler radar. But this last weekend, we did have numerous tornado touchdowns, a new total up to 12. We'll show you the tracks of 8 of those have come in from the National Weather Service coming up here in a couple minutes. But that's kind of crazy when you think about 12 tornado touchdowns with this last storm system, one that has now moved well east of us out there into the Atlantic Ocean. And so in the wake of that, we've just had lots of dry air that has moved in and fully settled into and through the region. So that's really kind of the story here. The dry air that's kind of come in from the north and west is going to kind of ensure that we don't really have much in the way of precipitation. But how quickly can we overcome that? Our next storm system, the one that will affect us, I think bringing more limited rain chances back there toward the west coast. But you can already kind of see the confounding factor, at least in the nearer term here, if you look really closely. And I think we're going to analyze this with a better version of our satellite perspective here in a second. A little bit of that low cloud cover back toward Jackson and northern Louisiana that will build back in overnight. You can see here on our Futurecast, fairly widespread from all the way around Jackson up toward Kosciuszko, Winona, back to near Grenada and Sardis, and then kind of spreading back through. So expect this to be, again, cloudy for tomorrow morning. Our meteorologist, Maggie McCauley, will have updates on that starting tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. and, of course, 6:37, 7:30 a.m. every morning when she'll be tracking the latest there. But we do show, if you go here toward about that time, a few little bits of green, maybe some drizzle arguably out there for the first part of the day. I'm not expecting a whole lot of that as the cloud cover. Again, mostly dry conditions and just kind of keeps the sunshine from being as effective at warming us up, which is how you can go from 46 in the morning, which is, listen, not warm, but not as cold as you typically expect, to 56 by 9 a.m., 67 by noon, and we'll go 70 by the afternoon. Again, 70 is well above normal, and I think we'll probably be pretty close to that value again for your Wednesday. It'll be probably Thursday before those temperatures push up there closer to the 80-degree point. But again, dry over the course of the next 24 hours in particular, with the exception of maybe just a little bit of drizzle. Coming up here in 60 seconds, we will look at where it's most likely that, of course, we could see that drizzle, but also those rain and storm chances. We're going to use our Storm Finder, very early look at that to kind of compare in where our storms are most likely to maybe be strong around the region as Mississippi Live Weather continues here from the Room to Room Weather Center in 60 seconds. Thank you so much for joining us, for subscribing, for sponsoring us, and we'll be back right after this.
Save today at Room to Room's President's Day sale. 55% off furniture and mattresses, 20% off accessories,
and 24-month special financing.
The time to act is now.
Room to Room Tupelo, where we know there's no place like your home.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
I'm your retirement fear, but don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. This is pretirement.org.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
This portion of Mississippi Live Weather is presented by Little's Jewelers.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's Mississippi's Chief Meteorologist, Matt Lobhon.
Well, another beautiful evening outside in Tupelo and in probably your backyard. 63 degrees in Tupelo, and I see Jade there on our chat behind the scenes, mentioning dry and 63 at the thermometer there in Columbus as well. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, joining us here at Mississippi Live Weather. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon. Again, our Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling Skycam in the Tupelo area with that 63-degree temperature. But notice that measure of moisture coming in there in the 40s. A sign that, again, we still have relatively dry air near the surface. A few thin clouds out there providing a couple of pictures coming in, including from the North Mississippi storm chasers of some of those sun dogs. Again, the ability to kind of see that little refraction out there in the way in which that shows through the sky. But again, a nice clear evening, and that goes to stay the same for all locations here across North Mississippi. We go back out there into the Delta, show up Clarksdale 52, so a little cooler than most. Some of that cloud cover showing up there. We head down to Rolling Fork and check out that one. And you can see that cloud cover is already a little more dense. It's more mid-level cloud cover showing up at that shot there. But some of that cloud cover kind of rolling out of the Gulf of Mexico and probably going to build back in a big way as we head throughout the overnight time period here. Our school day forecast for tomorrow, probably a little bit of fog out there early. this probably implies too much sunshine, kind of looking at this hour-by-hour forecast there. I have to expect for most locations, maybe nowhere near as much sunshine as what that kind of indicates there. We're going 63 by lunch and 69 by the final bell. And again, what will be mostly cloudy skies most of the day. Here's a look at our kind of cloud cover, what we call the visible satellite perspective here. This is a 3-hour loop, and you can see some of that cloud cover we were talking about, rolling fork, right about there-ish. And so on this loop here, you see this cloud cover just kind of stayed all day long. And if we take it back farther, and we'll use an ability to kind of look overnight, our infrared satellite that kind of pairs up again here with the daytime period, has slowly kind of eroded away last couple hours. But you can see just how widespread all that cloud cover was earlier today, and took a while to kind of get out there, practically noontime before Kosciuszko got the clear. In the southwest portion of that county there, still with some cloud cover in Atala County at this point. All of that to say, when we look here at our Futurecast, you'll notice some of that cloud cover doing the same thing, where it's building kind of back in. High pressure to the east of us. But again, the overall movement now out of the Gulf of Mexico, and as that cloud cover kind of builds northward, that'll ensure that, again, we're kind of mostly cloudy by 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's possible, again, we could have maybe a little bit of drizzle, like what we see out there toward Alexandria, Louisiana, and Nacogdoches and Monroe, Louisiana. That sort of build in with at least some of that around for early Tuesday. We'll go about 45 in Water Valley. You can see where we're more likely to have that thick cloud cover sooner. Down here, Belzona at 49, as well as Greenwood at 49. 46 Eupora, 48 degrees in Louisville, and coming in right around 45 in Water Valley and 46 for Senatobia. And that cloud cover, as you can see, still fairly widespread here. 7, 8, even 9 o'clock for tomorrow morning. And yet we keep depicting a couple little sprinkles on there. If that's an issue, our meteorologist Maggie McCauley will have updates, of course, at 6:30, 7:30 a.m. She's on every single morning, Monday through Friday, with updates there. We don't expect a lot of big troubles with that. But if this gets upgraded to a dense fog advisory, of course, you'll get those alerts in the Mississippi Live Weather app. You'll also, of course, be able to get any updates from her. Again, 6:30, 7:30 a.m. here in the Room to Room Weather Center. Look for her for the latest on any issues that we have. But I think in general, we shouldn't really have many. But it's just interesting that our Futurecast has been persistent on trying to keep a little bit of that drizzle out here, Clarksdale. So would this add up to more than 100 rainfall? No. I expect that's probably even overdoing it in that description. So 69 Oxford, 71 degrees in Water Valley, 73 Eupora, 72 for Starkville. If we had more sunshine, these temperatures would be a little bit higher, but I think it's just we're kind of locked in this cloud cover and doesn't really increase a whole lot for tomorrow. So Tuesday, again, above our normal, but pretty similar in temperatures to where we were for today. And that cloud cover widespread again for your Tuesday evening, 8:39, 10 o'clock in the evening, showing even a little bit of that drizzle out there closer to Columbus, but not a lot of meaningful moisture out of any of this. It's just kind of persistent. So again, that dense fog in some spots possible for early Wednesday morning, probably as well, that we do start to see at least some signs of it trying to break up just a little bit. But so warm and cloudy, I guess a lot better than cold and cloudy, right? So we're in the warm and cloudy category. And you'll notice even those low temperatures, I mean, closer to the 60-degree point for Belzona, for Greenwood, about 57 Louisville, Starkville, 57 degrees in Houston. We're 55 in Red Bay, and coming in right about 56 degrees for Boonville, 55. I mentioned Red Bay there. Again, for some of those low temperatures early Wednesday morning. So when do things start to change? Well, again, I think we're still in a position here with our next front kind of arriving that this will try to maybe crank out a couple of heavier sprinkles down here closer to Jackson. We're midday Wednesday, but I think this hopefully breaks up some of the cloud cover. See how it kind of breaks up just a little bit more for Wednesday afternoon. So maybe that gets those temperatures boosted slightly more. That's why we're probably mid-70s for highs by Wednesday afternoon with more meaningful rainfall up to the north. As again, that's where more of that moisture kind of slide in that direction. We're 75 in Kosciuszko, Louisville, and Starkville for highs on Wednesday. I mean, come on. Our record high for this time of year is 79 for Wednesday. I don't think we're quite there. I mean, but we're not that far removed for some spots around the Golden Triangle. So a little more sunshine, and we possibly kind of hit that threshold as far as highs are concerned. So again, trying to break things up a little bit more on our strike model here as we head into late Wednesday night and early Thursday. But notice these strong southerly winds. They're going to try to, again, build in more moisture. That might mean more instability for thunderstorms by Thursday as we go into and through the day. And there is a severe weather risk to the north of us. More on that here in just a moment. But as you can kind of see for us, I think, again, locked in the cloud cover, we're 50s for some of those lows again on a Thursday morning there. But as our next front approaches, the peak chance to possibly see something more active, probably up here toward Indianapolis, out toward Lafayette, Indiana. It's hard to get all my Lafayette, all that stuff. Keep that straightened out in my brain. But out there toward Indiana, this is the zone up here farther north, closer to our upper level system, where we probably have some stronger thunderstorms. For us, we'll bring it in closer and we'll go back wider here in just a moment. We show maybe a couple of isolated showers here late into your Thursday afternoon to evening, maybe one or two rumbles with this, but that's probably overdone even in that description there. The more active weather certainly to the north of us. And so there is, believe it or not, a severe weather risk already in place for your Thursday for locations up here toward the Ohio Valley. The thinking is, again, closer to the upper level storm system, that would be, greater confidence to possibly have something that's a little bit stronger. For us, fuel remains a question. It might be a funny thing to say, well, hold on, they're farther north. They're not going to have nearly as much heating and moisture, but I think closer to the upper level storm system, sometimes it doesn't take quite as much to produce severe weather. And so they're just more focused for everything up that direction. So for us, Futurecast, again, shows this front, slow moving front, moving into our region here as we go into Thursday night. Again, a couple of rumbles possible along this frontal boundary. It'll continue to sort of regenerate some rain chances into your Friday as well. Again, fairly close to the front where that's most likely here, 9, 10, 11 o'clock toward noontime there. We show a few more little bits of yellow and red down south. I think this particular projection runs out of data, so let's stop this. We're going to take this into edit mode, and we're going to force it to pull in a little more data, because usually I get the latest run of this pretty much in this broadcast. So let's see if we can force this strike model to give us 6 extra hours. It hasn't updated on me. It's unfortunate. Okay, but we will show you our one of our other projections on that here in just a moment. So again, with that front kind of sticking around, I think we'll continue to have at least some limited rain and storm chances there showing up into your Friday as we go through Friday, and then possibly also Saturday. As we showed you at 5 o'clock, the instability in fuel for thunderstorms on at least some of our projections increases a little bit more for Saturday. We're cooler behind this front, something that didn't really happen after the last one that moved through, or maybe for that long we were cooler. We're back into the 50s, as you can see, back a little below our normal for this time of year as we head in this upcoming weekend. So we do drop temperatures down, and yes, closer to the freezing point. A reminder that the warmth that we have had is not forever, unfortunately. Okay, coming up after the break, we're going to talk to our Ethan Foster, who's there in Amory, kind of about what's going on down there with the game tonight as they open up their season for baseball down there. First game that they are going to have in the new stadium, put in place after the tornado, of course, back in 2023 took out the old one, and so many other things there in the Amory community. We'll talk to him. We'll also look at our Storm Finder and give you a comparison again with those storm chances up north versus us in 60 seconds as Mississippi Live Weather continues from the Room to Room Weather Center right after this.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The Health Class Film Guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon. You're looking at something you'll see only on Mississippi Live. This is Storm Finder. And again, our chances are not particularly impressive this week. But we're going to watch, again, a storm system moving toward us later in the week. And that does have a severe weather threat for locations back up here toward the kind of Ohio Valley. I think because fuel remains somewhat limited, it's a low confidence, potentially high impact sort of chance up here. That's why, again, a severe weather risk already in place there. But watch the purples we see there. versus the purples that start building down here farther south as we go into your Friday early morning. You'll notice that these are a little more substantial down our direction. So confidence in maybe getting some rumbles, I'd say slightly greater. But one of the things that you don't see on here, at least at this point, when we're looking for any lightning strikes, we don't have any of those really indicating big clusters, which is part of the reason why this is likely to come through weaker than what came through this last weekend. And that's an important distinction because unfortunately what came through this last weekend was some significant storms. 12 tornadoes so far confirmed going back to this last weekend, and numerous, unfortunately, EF1 or greater. This one, the Northfield tornado, peak wind gusts 110 miles per hour here, and a path length on the ground there 6.8 miles. EF1 is where you start causing damage to some structures of significance. EF2 is when you're starting to cause more significant damage to well-built structures. 100 mile per hour, though, the wind on the Enterprise tornado here, again, south of the Hartman area. I'll widen things just a little bit for some perspective. This, of course, south of the Brookhaven area. Another tornado here near Harmony and Fair River, moving toward NOLA. This Lincoln and Lawrence County tornado, again, 100 mile per hour peak winds on that one there as it moved through. A tornado near Monticello there, 105 miles per hour, EF1 rating on that one, 200 yards wide and on the ground for 4 miles. Another tornado here, this one very near that. So you can see just kind of wrapping up these brief tornadoes, as these were very much back-to-back in a lot of ways. 85 miles per hour for the armed tornado there. Again, that east of Monticello and kind of southwest there of the Prentice community. Prentice had another one southwest of it. This an EF1 at 90 mile per hour peak winds, very close to the beginning of the track there, and 350 yards wide. Just thinking the perspective there with a football field, for example. And then Prentice tornado kind of on the northwest side of town. This one obviously lifting briefly between the two, and multiple spots there where we had EF1 damage at 90 mile per hour winds. And then this one then picked up again North Prentice there, EF1 at least briefly. So you notice how these tornadoes were kind of skipping in between some spots where they missed and they were just kind of on the ground and back up on multiple occasions there. But I think the crazy thought on this is that we were talking about, that's just 8 of 12 total tracks on that. A sign, of course, just how active conditions were. I'm going to bring in our Ethan Foster, active this evening there in the Amory area. And Ethan, of course, you're at a ball game. Our first pitch is going to be coming up here, at 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah, 7 o'clock for the varsity team here tonight. And again, I mentioned a school very special, near and dear to my heart. And of course, that is, if you know anything about me, the Hamilton Lions, okay? Just right down the road, my hometown. I'm actually over here on the Hamilton side. You can see we'll get it going here. Just a little bit of blue on this side of the stands. Of course, you got the field behind me here. The JV team is playing right now. And right now, Matt, the score 9-3 for Amory, for the JV team. I'm actually going to walk you back behind here, give you a little bit of the behind-the-scenes tour here at the new facilities. I actually have just a couple of the Hamilton boys here. I pre-warned them that I was going to be live here. They said they wanted to say hello, Matt. So, of course, I promised them that I'll give them a chance to say hello to you. So, right here we got the bullpen with my Hamilton Lions. So, guys, come over here close where the people at home can hear you. So, real quick, guys, just tell everybody how nice it is. Have you ever been to a ballpark in our area this nice, open up, just fresh? First game out here tonight. What do you guys think about all this?
I think it's cool. And it's the only place that we've ever been to like this is Corinth, and I ain't nowhere near Hamilton. The field's perfect.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so obviously excited to have you guys out here. So what are you guys thinking the outcome's going to be tonight? Who you guys think's got it in the bag?
My boy Braden Lackey right here is about to lock in, and we're going to take a dub.
Okay. So you heard it here first from the bullpen, Lions on top. Of course, you know who I would roll with. I'm a little bit of a biased man myself when it comes to the Hamilton Lions. But, of course, we're out here having fun. Everybody's having fun. I didn't count all of them, but from my estimate, I'd say probably about 75 to 100 people in the stands right now, Matt. And, just to give the weather spin on this, people remember just, 3 years ago almost when the tornado came through this area, knocked out the football facilities, knocked out baseball. And you wouldn't know that just 3 years ago it was such devastation here around these parts. You and I were both involved in coverage of that, so we know firsthand what it was like. But it's just good to see this kind of thing happening here right now especially when we know how bad it was not that long ago.
Absolutely, and it's just amazing facilities there. That I do want to know. Looking at the video board there in the background, have there been some pretty cool walkout songs and everything going on for the kiddos?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's got the walkout songs going. The video board is nice and bright. When you do drive through this way, if you're ever looking at the football video board, you have to be careful not to look for too long because it's so bright that it will just about blind you. But again, it's kind of neat because not many high school students can say that they grew up in our area and they have access to facilities as nice as these. And so when we think about severe weather and storms and things like that, we know that Monroe County has come together on many, many occasions. And this is just an example of how something good can come from something that is so devastating. So, of course, we're excited. College baseball is big, but what people may not realize is that high school baseball is just as fun, and it is only the beginning.
It is only the beginning. It's so proud again for all those folks there in Amory on the recovery coming together to make this happen. Between administration and everybody else, it's taken a lot of work. Appreciate that. Our Ethan Foster there in Monroe County at the Hamilton game. Again, he's excited to see if Hamilton can pull that off. I'm sure he'll give us a little update later on this evening on how that ends up playing out here. And we appreciate you all for supporting us here on Mississippi Live Weather. I'm going to pull up our chat here behind the scenes with some folks. Again, a lot of folks there trying not to miss Mississippi Live Weather. Appreciate that. Looking forward to seeing y'all. Now, it will actually be me, Markellis, there at 10 p.m. tonight instead of Gabe. And Gabe, a little bit under the weather this evening, if you can say that, a way to describe it, I guess. But yeah, a little bit under the weather for tonight. So he will probably be off tonight, but he'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully voice is back to 100%. Always a bit of a challenge this time of the year to make sure that is the case. We appreciate y'all for supporting us here. And like I could see G Price mentioning, didn't realize there were so many tornadoes. Yeah, there really, unfortunately, were a lot. So 12 so far confirmed. We'll hopefully get you a full, complete list of that as those different tracks are posted by the folks at the Weather Service there. Our next broadcast is going to be coming up again at 10 p.m. here. I'll be in for our meteorologist, Gabe Maynor. We will have a longer range look at Storm Finder and some of those chances on Friday, kind of analyzing that and hopefully getting a better look again at the fuel for thunderstorms, seeing how that lines up. Storm Finder did a good job of showing and really targeting South Mississippi and its storm chances this last weekend. We will see what it looks like on the long range there coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.